Okay, so it's Adrian David from Pure Electric. I was sitting at my laptop. I'm thinking about what's wrong with the industry, and there's many different things that are wrong. It's not just one thing. It's lots of things that have been going on for a long period of time, and there's a lot of rot that has set in. But I've been in teaching now for a year, and one of the things that I've realised, and I'm probably just as guilty when I had apprentices as well, is not giving the apprentices enough time on the job to teach them, to train them. As employers, we see apprentices as cheap labour, and that's not why I took on apprentices. I took on apprentices because I wanted to give something back to the industry. I wanted to train people up to do things the way that I wanted them to be done, so that I had a good workforce, so that my company is full of people that I've trained. So theoretically, they were doing things the way I wanted it to do, wanted it to happen. Didn't actually happen like that, but then I think some of that was down to my own personal maturity at the time, etc. Now that I've been able to reflect, I can reflect on that and see maybe where I went wrong. But one of the things that I've noticed since I've been in training now is that employers think that the colleges are there to do all the training, and that really isn't the case. The way the apprenticeships are set up is that it's 20% off the job training at college, 80% at work. And if you're not training your apprentices at work, and people will argue, well, there's not enough time, there's not this, there's not that, then that's only going to help de-skill the industry, because we've got companies with apprentices training apprentices who are training apprentices who are trained by apprentices, and it's like Chinese whispers. Things are getting diluted all the way down, and what one apprentice's interpretation of something is then getting passed down as gospel from apprentice to apprentice to apprentice. And as employers, we have to realise that we are also part of the problem. So what this video is about, it's really trying to get employers to think about why they've taken on apprentices, what they're hoping to achieve from that, realising that the college can't do all the training. There's no way you can train an apprentice with 1 day a week over 3 years. You just can't get that level of knowledge across. I tell them the same things over and over and over again, and you'd be amazed that they still interpret it differently, or they interpret it wrong, or they don't quite catch the meaning, or even after a year of being their lecturer, they're still not understanding what I've said to them or what they've been taught. And that's why I know 100% in my mind that these short courses, these fast track courses, 15 days, 18 days, 3-month courses, whatever, they do not work, because you're not teaching somebody something, you're showing them how to do it and then expecting them to regurgitate that information. And the longer that they have been away from that information, the more they will forget. Okay, so all you're doing is teaching them to pass an exam. Okay, you then come back a year later and fire the same exam papers at those people. They won't pass. They can't pass because they've forgotten all the information that they were shown. They've held on to a little nuggets of information which is relevant to what they were doing that day or the next few weeks, but then the rest of the information has disappeared into the ether, because we're not robots. You can't upload us with USB sticks and say, look, there's all the information that you need to know. Boom, you're an electrician now, you're qualified, off you go. 15 days later. It just doesn't happen. And this is the biggest problem with the industry. It's the training. Unless we get the training right and you get a good, solid foundation to build off of, everything else is pointless. You're trying to fix leaks which can't be stopped. And the problem is that the industry knows it can't be fixed. So what's the point in trying? Okay, because to fix it is a monumental problem. It's a monumental effort. So it's never going to get fixed. And then obviously you've got the people that are profiteering from this structure, and of course they don't want their bubble to be burst. They're going to protect it, life and death, finger, tooth and nail, to keep hold of what they are, what their income. Okay, so we're fighting a losing battle. As employers, we don't want to be part of that problem. So what I'm asking for with this video is, as employers, when you take on apprentices, give them the training they need. You've got to train them. Get them to record the training that they're doing. Get them to do CPD, whether it's watching videos or reading books or keeping up to date with Pro Electrician, even things like that. Trade magazines can be CPD. And we just need to keep, it's like, the way I describe it to my apprentices, it's like I'm pebble dashing a house, okay? I've got all this information in small little nuggets, and all I'm doing is throwing it in their direction and hoping that some of it sticks. And some of it will stick and some of it won't. And there'll be patches where the pebble dash doesn't join up, and there's these big gaps that they don't realise are there, but I can see it. And it's the same obviously with the fast track courses. They've had lots of information thrown at them, even less sticks when you're doing it really fast in a very short space of time. You end up with big patches of information missing. At least over 3 years you get a chance to fill in those gaps. So it's like pebble dashing a house. We throw information at apprentices and we hope that it sticks. And over a period of time, we build up the gaps and we see the gaps. And you need to spend time with apprentices to see the gaps in their knowledge to help fill it in, okay? And that's what we need to do. So as employers, we too have a responsibility to the apprentices that we take on, to the apprenticeship system, okay? We also get bad apprentices that have been through the system, and that is down to the employers and it's down to the colleges. And unless the colleges are being supported with good employers, okay, then they're struggling. They're never going to achieve that battle, okay, and then they're stuck in the situation, well, actually, we need to get paid, so these people have to qualify so that we can get paid. The whole system is fundamentally set up wrong, and it needs changing. I haven't got the answers, but all I'm asking for is employers, think about the training that you're giving your apprentices. If you're just using them as cheap labour, you're part of the problem, okay? Got to train them. Again, take care of yourself, guys, and just aim to be higher, aim to be the best that you can be, and hopefully the industry will improve as a result. And if the industry improves and the respect improves and the level of competency improves, then the money that you can charge will reflect in that. The reason that it's not reflected at the moment is because the competency is so low that anybody can do it, okay? And there is no respect in the trade. Electricians are no longer respected. I remember when I first started, the electrician's here, quick, you better get the kettle on, and everyone would, I'm not saying we're elitist or anything, but there was a running joke on site that the electricians are here, they're important, the gas engineers, the electricians, they're important because they do a valued job, because you have to be smart and clever and, knowledgeable to do this job. It's not like just labouring, okay? And that has gone since I've been an electrician, qualified 2004. That's gone completely. Nobody thinks of the electrician anymore. Plasterers are more important than us. The plasterer needs to get on. When are you coming? The plasterer's here Monday. I need you here today to come and do this. That level of respect has gone. You've got to ask yourself a question why that's happened. So just some thoughts for today. I won't bore you anymore because I'll just be treading over old ground. But just start thinking about what part of the problem you are creating, okay? Take care.